High-tech hackers have brought major corporations to their knees, and the wise guys are out to get you too.
Welcome to Miami Mutual Bank. How may I help you?
I'd like to cash this check here, and then I'd like to take you out for a steak dinner.
Attorney, author, and Bentley University professor Steve Weisman, tell us how check washing works.
Well, you picked a good piece. That was from the movie Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks. It was about the real scammer and identity thief, Fred Abagnale. And he did his scamming and identity thief. Now he works in security. But back then, he would counterfeit checks and wash checks. And the thing is, it is incredibly easy to do. You get a hold of a check that has been written, and with just bleach or acetone, common chemicals, you can wash, clear out the name and the number, and you can write that check to yourself. Now, we think sometimes, people will put checks in an envelope and put it out in their mailbox to alert the postal carrier. Sometimes even there's a little red flag on your mailbox that you flip up to let the mail carrier know. You're also letting that identity thief who is cruising around your neighborhood know that there's some mail going out, and it might even be a check going to someone where they can grab. They also sometimes will look at this mail, take it, grab these checks, and make it payable over to them. So washing is really easy to do. And sometimes maybe even, not even when you get it in the mail, sometimes it may be you give a check at a store, and any rogue employee will take that and wash that check. So what you got to do is, when you write a check, you want to use what's called a gel pen, because this is something that can't be changed. You can also use a good old-fashioned fountain pen, but I don't know, Holland, if you're like me, when I was a kid, the few times I ever tried a fountain pen, somehow my hands all turned blue. So the gel pen is the way to go. You can get that at any kind of stationery store. You write your checks with that, and you're going to be okay. Frankly, you're better off not using paper checks anyway and paying electronically.
He's the author of a stack of books, and if you can read only one, make it Identity Theft Alert: 10 Rules You Must Follow to Protect Yourself from America's #1 crime. Steve, every day on Facebook, there's a cute little poll asking me what's my all-time favorite record album or the best concert I ever attended. What's the harm in responding?
Now, everybody likes these quizzes and little surveys. The problem is they provide all kinds of information about you that can be used in two ways to your detriment. One is, we're all familiar with phishing emails and phishing text messages, which they call smishing. And what happens is you get something that maybe it comes from, I don't know, it looks like a bank or someone else, but it really isn't tailored for you. However, spear phishing emails are where the bad guys have personal information about something that connects to you, such as a band that you might be interested in or some other interest of yours. And they get these through these surveys. And so they lure people into clicking on links in these emails, in these text messages, and then they download malware or lure them into providing personal information that can be used to make them victims of identity theft. The other way that this problem occurs is they gather all of this data about us, and they use that for purposes of identity theft. They may use that information to help even create a synthetic identity, which complicates our identity. They also may take that information and use that to maybe get at passwords and security questions that we might use. So the bottom line is we're all a little bit too loose with all of the information that we share on social media that can be then leveraged against us.
Steve, it seems like we spend our lives avoiding scamsters, and then we die. And now you're reporting about what you call deceased identity theft. Why do I care what the wise guys are up to after I'm gone?
Well, you may not, but your family might. Actually, I found it amazing that, and this is the evidence of the ones we know about. There's always more people that are scammed that we don't even know about, but 2.5 million Americans were victims of identity theft after they died. Now, what happens is the bad guys, again, they get that social security number. In the past, it's one of the times I can actually say things are better now. There used to be something that Social Security had called the Death Master Index. Sounds like something out of Star Wars. You could go onto this Death Master Index, put in the name of anyone who had died and get their social security number. And the bad guys just did this over and over. So it took years, but finally Social Security shut that down. But the bad guys still managed to get that social security number, and then they get it your credit report, and then they establish credit, they buy things, they file an income tax return. The problem is it complicates the estate. Suddenly there are claims made against the estate, and you've got to be spending your time fixing it. And the bad guys also know that most of us, when we're dead, aren't checking our credit reports or our credit cards quite as much as we did when we were alive. And so they generally can get away with this for quite a bit longer. So the thing here is, as part of any estate settlement, when someone dies, what you want to do is contact each of the 3 major credit reporting agencies and close the accounts down. You also want to let any businesses that you do business with close those accounts down. And you even want to be careful what you put in an obituary. Sometimes people will put in the names of grandchildren, and suddenly the grandparents are getting that call, the grandparent scam. Hi, it's me, Steve. I'm in trouble and I'm in Boston and I need your help. So all of this information we put out there comes back to bite us.